quite apart from what we do internally here, there are also other factors that are not necessarily local. I mean, even the origin of
this is not local.
the virus. Somebody went and had bat soup somewhere.
Absolutely.
And then there was a mess. Regionally, we are taking this in a different manner. There are countries that believe that this thing is finished. It's not a problem. There are other countries that are probably not being very forthright in the management of their data. There are countries that are unable to manage their health systems. And all these people are neighbors, and our borders really porous. So how does that factor into the way we manage them?
Exactly as you said, people are taking this thing differently. Just as we individually are taking it differently, you find, I cited a number of examples when I gave a press conference not too long ago, of people who thought, they were cleverer because they were able to go and con their way around roadblocks and what. And what did they end up doing? They ended up taking this disease to those that they love. So who lost? The government didn't lose. I didn't lose. Right? It was those that he loved who lost. So he may have smiled as he went through. But at the end of the day, the cost and the problem was to himself and his loved ones. Equally. Right? Which is what, again, we are seeing across the globe, even before we come to our region. There are those countries that are taking this thing seriously and managing it in that manner and putting in place protocols. But there are also others who are saying, well, this doesn't exist. It's a small flu, right? Right? I don't want to mention countries. That's not my business. Yeah? But those people who have been talking about small flu, yeah, today now, I think are ranked second highest globally.
Yes.
In terms of both infection
and
death. As a government, my first responsibility, yes, is to engage with all our global partners, is to engage with all our regional partners, but my first priority is to safeguard life and property of Kenyans. Yeah? That was what I am charged with. That's my first responsibility. And so therefore, my engagement with everybody else must be based on that. All right? So, as you saw the other day with another neighbor of ours, a good neighbor, a friend, we are actually not even neighbors, we were more like brothers and sisters. Yeah? But if you feel your home is secure, right, then I can't make you, force you. But I must tell you, yeah, that these are the rules, these are the protocols that I am engaging in my home. Yeah? So I want you to come, I want you to share a meal with me, I want you to partake and we develop together. But in my home, these are the protocols you're going to have to observe. Right? And that does not mean I hate you. Yeah? Just like you will go to your neighbor's house. Yeah? If your neighbor's house, the wife tells you, before you enter my house, remove your shoes at the door. You remove your shoes and before you go in. In your house, maybe you don't remove your shoes, you just walk in with your shoes. But your neighbor, that is the protocol they have in their house. That doesn't mean that she doesn't like you. Just as ukiingia kwangu, wacha viatu kwa mlango. Yeah?
In managing this crisis, is there anything that you have observed that gives you hope?
Yes, I have been very inspired by our frontline workers, our health staff who have really gone out of their way to doing their work. I've been very impressed by our contact tracers who have done a magnificent job in trying to, and contact tracing, which has worked very successfully, at least so far in our country. I'm very impressed also with our security agencies who have actually been forced to work overtime, yeah, in order to enforce the various curfews and the various lockdowns that we have had. But more so, I've also been impressed by the majority of Kenyans who have chosen to obey, yeah, the rules and protocols that have been set up. And I believe it is because of the combined effort of Kenyans and all these different services, yeah, that has so far, yeah, enabled us, yeah, to have the limited number of deaths. And the only thing I will keep telling Kenyans is don't be fooled by success. You know, success creates laxity. Watu hawajakufa, kitu haina tabu. Don't be fooled, because you haven't died because you have observed. You haven't died because you have followed protocol. Don't now say, hakuna mtu amekufa, hii kitu hakuna. No, the reason you have not died is because you have followed the protocol. Let's continue to maintain our stance in following the laid down protocols. Then we shall survive, then we shall overcome.
With all the data that you're getting and all the analysis that you're getting from the experts, how do you see this developing? When are we going to peak?
Well,
in what kind
according to the experts and the technical people, they say we peak in August, September. Right? My hope, of course, as and this is now me, you know, and at the end of the day, I have to listen to the experts. Right? But my hope is that if we continue working the way we are working together as Kenyans, right, we will reach our peak much earlier and have fewer deaths. Right? That is going to be dependent on every single person. Yeah? And that's why I keep saying it is the individual. It is the individual. It is the individual. It is that son of mine I was telling you about, who has to ask himself, yeah, that's where you are. You can't come home. You are with your grandmother. Your grandmother's life is in your hands. You see, it's you to decide. Yeah? And to ask yourself, if something were to happen, how are you going to live with yourself? Yeah? Just because of one evening out to go and see your girlfriend or go and see what? Yeah? How will that help you? Yeah? How will you live with yourself if something happened? So it is the individual at the end of the day.
Okay, and you're satisfied that we have sufficient resources to manage the...
I am very excited by the fact that we are now making our own masks. We are not having to import masks. We are now making our own PPPs, yeah? What do you call these? Personal protection equipments, EOTE, PPEs. We are making our own, right? And we are continuing to do that. We are supporting others also in that endeavor, in supplying and helping. And through our development partners, getting additional equipment. One of the greatest things that happened is that we had already equipped a lot of our hospitals across the country with some of the equipment that was necessary. We are adding, you know, to that. We have a lot of our innovators out there who are looking to see how we can even make additional equipment. Yeah? We have a lot of our young people who are out there looking at different applications that we can use through our telephony systems and etc. Yeah? And these are also growing and developing. So in and amongst the challenge, there are also a great deal of opportunities that are coming out there, yeah, that are exposing Kenyan innovation and Kenyan talent and giving it opportunity. Yeah, before, I mean, masks, we were not making, we were looking initially. Now we're making them. Yeah, we're making them more adaptable. And as you heard the ministry saying the other day, some of our own PPP equipment that we are now using is probably better than even the imported materials we were getting before. So these are good things, good signs.
Yeah. I think I will probably rest COVID a little bit so that we can talk a bit of politics also.
So all this is going to, so politics is also going to take another hour.